I love etymology, and I think it's really instructive. Like we're talking about with power and dominance and things like this, it's really instructive in terms of deconstructing some of the principles maybe we hold dear. But kind comes from a Germanic word, gekind, right? And gekind probably comes from an Indo-European word, kund. And certainly it's related, and kund is the same word we get cunt from.
Okay.
All right? So, and gekind is definitely related to cunt, and also kin and kind.
And we have to go there with cunt then? What does
We have to go there because actually what it means in Sanskrit is holy well, the well of life.
Okay.
All right? So it's a different interpretation of a lot of things. I mean, you then get things like menstruation being kunda puspa, the flowers of the holy well, not a curse. And again, from the Abrahamic religions, we get this damnation, this curse on femininity, on the female, and that kind of thing, for taking an apple from a tree or whatever it was they're supposed to have done that was wrong. Yeah, it's a whole different tradition then, but that has had inflections and complications through several thousand years of Western history and around the world, given the prominence of pushing that out through, as an empire religion. That's pretty nasty shit, really, when you check it out. So instead of being, the fount of life, it's something that's despicable, and that's quite an interesting shift. But that gekind is the root of kind, which is clan. And like
Makes sense.
just like I talked about, bacteria on the back of the sink are your relatives. Virus are your relatives. We're all related. There is only relationship. There isn't anything that isn't relationship. Every single molecule of oxygen that you breathe in has been made by plants, without exception. At the beginning of the Earth, there was 0.04% in the atmosphere, and all the rest, we're 21% now. So that's, nearly all of it has been made by plants. And it's made by plants they catch sunlight, which breaks water into two pieces, hydrogen and oxygen is released. Not only that, but everything you do, if you wiggle your fingers, if you think, if you breathe, that's powered by glucose and fatty acids, which are put together by plants by a similar process. Right? So all the energy that we break down to make ATP, to do all of our function, everything, think, believe, all the beliefs you have, all the stories you come up with, everything is all plant-powered, without exception. There is only relationship. That oxygen goes to every single cell in your body. The glucose goes to every... where's the boundary there? This seamless web that we are, that we really, really are. Yeah. And if we wake up and pay attention to that a little bit more, and of course a lot of indigenous traditions have that wrapped up in them, whether it's Wakantanka or Tonkashila or, Matakwayasana or, Brahman or... Thank you. Prana, these different, Chi, or whatever the different traditions hold it as, or Ludumare, or whatever, they've had an understanding of the joined upness and the weave of everything. However, that's chunked down in different ways, and they're different. But we have access to this information that is on a scientific basis, and I love teaching and sharing that view, because for me it works, for a lot of people, in terms of helping people to remember, just how related and joined up and seamless everything is, because that means we then treat things differently. We can't treat a tree just as a piece of lumber. It's a living, it's sentient. It's got a mycelial web. It's a communicative part of the web that we are actually dependent on. So relationships, change when we go deep into kin, when we understand what kin means and just how joined up everything is.